That's what it is.
There you
Hey
go.
everyone. Hey everyone. Happy Saturday. Wait a minute. Today is a special day. It's Random Acts of Kindness Day.
There
Happy
you go.
Acts of Kindness Day. Today we are excited to have another guest with us live who is going to drop some gems about how we as a culture, a community can focus on our health and do it all naturally. Like, hopefully be able to put away some of the RXs and live a more balanced lifestyle through foods and natural remedies. And our guest today, Kayla, knows all about that. When I came across Kayla's channel, and I'll do a little more formal introduction in a second. When I
Okay.
came across Kayla's channel, I said, this is speaking to my heart. Like, I am all about healthy living, finding ways to incorporate food as medicine, right? And so basically all of the, trends about what the health and you are what you eat and on living to 100, all of that is grounded in what you eat and how you eat. And so when I saw Kayla's channel and the conversations that she was having, and let me just go through a couple of them. She
Okay.
talks about gut issues, she talks about boosting immunity, she talks about anemia and iron deficiency, heavy metal poisoning, which we don't speak enough of, high cholesterol, and all of the solutions that Kayla provides on her channel are all natural. And so I had to have her on Black Travel and Culture. And hopefully we can answer some of your questions. If you are joining us live, feel free to put questions in the comment section. If you are watching on a replay, feel free to put questions there and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But for a quick introduction, and I'm going to let Kayla take it over. Kayla is the creator of The Balanced Life with Kayla here on YouTube. So please make sure you follow her channel. I'll make sure there's a link in the description for you to go directly from here to there. But her channel is all about maintaining a well-balanced lifestyle, doing the things that make us feel alive. So let me read that one more time. Her channel is all about maintaining a well-balanced lifestyle, doing the things that make us feel alive. And so, Kayla, if you don't mind, can you share a little bit more about yourself and the concept for your channel?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kimmy, for having me here. Absolute pleasure. When you reached out to me, I was like, yes, I would love to talk about this one. No, seriously, because I feel like we don't have enough platforms to really address issues that affects us as a
Mm,
people, as a community. And so just looking around me and looking at the ways that we live, I said, there could be something that we can do better. And it's not really difficult. These are just little things, little changes here and there to our lifestyle. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have to go, full in. It's just little changes here and there that I find to help me. So anyway, that sparked the interest for me to dig deeper and see how I can balance my life, living a healthy lifestyle, not necessarily giving up a lot. I still enjoy life, but knowing ways to navigate through life with, changes with lifestyle. So I work full time, but also on the side, I'm doing this researching because one day I hope to start my own thing. I don't know what it is yet, but something that is something that will definitely help people around me, help not just my community, but people wherever, anywhere on earth. Because if you think about it, we are all made from the same, you know, we have the same blood running through our veins. We have the same it's flesh and blood, even though we're of different races and color and things like that. But um, it boils down to we're all human beings and our bodies function the exact same way. So yeah, I'm here to talk about things that will help us just live a better life.
Well, totally appreciate your commitment to having this conversation. It's not a glamorous or sexy conversation. And, I know so many of us like to be entertained versus informed. And
Yeah.
however, it is one that I am committed to here at Black Travel and Culture. And for those of you that don't know what the channel is about, Black Travel and Culture is simply a lifestyle channel that covers wellness, travel, and finances, with the common denominator being our culture. And so I do agree with Kayla that yes, we all have blood running through our veins, right? But unfortunately, Black women suffer from um, anemic and low oxygen blood running through our veins at a higher level. And so that's why
Yeah.
I think this conversation is really important to our community, because we suffer from these ailments that we are going to discuss in a second at much higher levels. And so
Right.
a lot of the chronic illnesses and that could turn into more severe illnesses can be prevented. Now, let me put a disclaimer out there. Kayla nor Kim are doctors, physicians, licensed, anything in the health industry, but we are committed to researching and sharing the information and the findings that we
Absolutely.
come up with and our personal experiences. So we thank you
Yes.
for tuning in. And so let's just get into the first point. I kind of talked about the deficiencies and how they affect our community. I was going to go over specific stats, but that may be a little too boring. It's a lot of stats.
It
And
is true.
let's just say more than 60% of Black women, unfortunately, at one time or another, will come down with anemia, usually due to fibroids or something related to um, women's issues. And so I know I was a victim of that. I unfortunately became severely anemic unknowingly, and had to find ways to eradicate that, which I did. And a lot of that was through food.
Mm, mm.
So can you explain? We're going to start first before we
Okay.
get into vitamin deficiency and anemia. Can you explain to us, because I think this topic is the least talked about. So I want to talk about it first. Can you
Okay.
explain to us what heavy metal poison is and how heavy metal buildup happens? Um, and maybe how it presents itself. I know, living in a large city, I live in New York City, we need to think more about that. We just got a warning in New York City to boil our water, right? Because
Oh,
of the
wow.
toxins and the metals. And when I say just, it's been
Yeah.
like a couple weeks now, but because of the toxins, the waste, the metal, all of that. So can you talk to us a little bit more about heavy metal? Because I know you have a great recipe on your channel on how to detox from heavy metal buildup.
Yes. So heavy metals, oh gosh, we can't talk enough of those. So heavy metals are simply, you know, metal molecules that find their way into our bodies and then they get attached to the cells of our bodies, preventing them from functioning right. So, for example, and these are metals, literally little, just microscopic, small metals that find their way into our bodies and then they get attached to our liver, our brains, our bones, our nerves, and things like that. So, what happens is when they attach to these tissues of our bodies and cells of our bodies, they just stop them or make them function less. Imagine your liver trying to process what it needs to process, and then there's this metal attached to it, making it just feeling so heavy to even do what they need to do. And it's funny because you mentioned, having that warning to boil your water because water is one source, and it's so common because we all drink water. But
Mm-hmm.
if we're drinking water coming from, like an old water system supply, just we use metals to build these pipes and things like that. So when this water comes through and we're consuming this water, unbeknownst to us, we're just consuming those little metals. And sadly, it is inevitable because if you're not even drinking those water, for example, just exposure to the atmosphere and industrial things flying around the air and foods that we eat, processed foods, some it different ways. So knowing that we are exposed to these things, but also knowing ways to make sure we're constantly flushing our systems of these metals is key.
Like you said, there's such easy ways for these microbes to get into our system, and oftentimes we don't find out about it until it's too late. Think about what happened in
Right.
Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan had been problematic, to say the least, for years before it became national news or people
Yeah.
started,
Yeah.
becoming more active, right? And so I always recommend, no matter what people say, if you have the ability to boil your water, or and definitely get a water filter
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
order to lessen the amount of toxins that because you're going to ingest toxins. Let's just be
No matter what.
avoid it. Every time you walk outside your house, your skin,
Yes.
you will ingest toxins. So there's no way to really get rid of that. But um, do you know what was your catalyst for addressing this detox drink, or showing people how to do a natural detox from heavy metals?
Yes, thanks for that question. It's really important to know because symptoms scream at us every day, telling us something is wrong. And if we don't pay attention to that, that's when it causes other things. So for me, we recently moved. It was in 2022. Yeah, towards the end of 2022, I believe. We moved, and for some reason, when you move, there are boxes everywhere, and you either take care of them or you don't. Or you just slowly do that. So I had no desire whatsoever to even open boxes, to do anything. I was just so tired. Even though it's an exciting time of our lives. I mean, we moved to much what we wanted, and it's like, okay, get it together. But I didn't have any energy, no desire whatsoever. And the trigger for me to make me really dig deep was because my brain, it just felt like I could not assimilate anything. I had this brain fog on top of everything. I was always tired. As soon as I was done with work, I just want to go lay on my bed, just shut down. And I said, this can't be right. So I started researching, like, what causes tiredness? Why is my brain acting as if there's a blanket, just a blanket between my processing system and where it needs to go? So one of the things that they said was like, you might have heavy metals, starting to really weigh you down. I'm like, okay. So there is this other guy that I follow on Instagram. He's called a medical medium, and he has a couple of books talking about really this heavy metals, because heavy metals, I'm telling you, is the catalyst for so many autoimmune diseases that you go to the doctor, they can't tell you what's wrong, they can't diagnose you correctly. Sometimes they say nothing's wrong with you, but something is wrong with you, but they just cannot put a finger to it. That's the culprit. So anyway, I follow him and I listen. I've heard him talk about this stuff before. So I went back, I started paying attention, and lo and behold, the symptoms I was feeling: extreme fatigue, um, just no interest in anything, brain fog. My skin was starting to look really different from what I know it to be. So I
Mm-hmm.
sprung into action, um, learned about some vegetables, like natural ways to take care of this stuff, because heavy metals are in everything, even supplements that we take, believe it or not. So you have to be really careful with how you're dealing with this, because you don't want to make it more of a problem than less of a problem when you're trying to take care of this. So I went the natural route. Celery, that
Mm-hmm.
green celery stick, girl, just doing celery juice for 30 days straight, first thing in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
you will testify of the goodness of that healing. I'm telling you, it's like night and day. So anyway, I started with the celery. So he recommended just doing, if you can, because celery is it's, for me, it's an acquired taste. It's not something you just jump up and start eating because you love to. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. And sometimes you have to force yourself to eat it. So I started juicing it, and I didn't have a juicer at that time. I just had a blender. I'll blend it up, filter it, and I'll drink it. I started with I think I started with 16 ounces. First thing in the morning, nothing else. Drink that every single day. And in 2 weeks, I started noticing tremendous difference. I had the energy and I started going. But the real kicker for me was I'm like, okay, we're starting with this celery juice. What else can I do? Again, went into research. The wild blueberries are amazing for pulling out heavy metals. Celery, again, yes, it's absolutely great. And then
Wait,
cilantro.
you said wild blueberries, so
Yes,
regular
wild.
blueberries are not the
There's not,
same.
they're not the same.
Okay,
No, it's
okay.
wild. They're
I just wanted to
smaller.
clarify that. Mhm.
Yes, they're smaller, and I usually, because I go to Sprouts, I love Sprouts. They carry a lot of things that I want, natural, organic stuff. So they usually come frozen because it's hard for you to see them fresh, but it's
Okay.
organic and they're
Well,
smaller. So those are the ones.
good.
And I have the recipe too. That after now we can link all that in there. But
Yes.
that heavy metal smoothie for me, let me tell you,
Wait, I'm
that thing.
sorry. You were gonna say cilantro before I cut you
Oh,
off. You were
oh
about to
yes,
mention
yes,
cilantro. Okay.
yes. Cilantro, yes. Cilantro is also another healing herb, whatever you want to call it, that helps to pull out this heavy metals because that's what we want to do. We want to try to pull out as much as we can. And I had the smoothie, again, recipes on my YouTube channel, but it includes wild blueberries, cilantro, um one orange, and a banana. And then there's also spirulina, because it's the spirulina powder that I get. It's, again, organic. You have to look for the high end. Don't skimp. I tried one before. It caused another issue for me. Let me tell you, I was struggling to go to the bathroom. Anyway, that's the story for the day. So I learned to get the good kind. Okay, it's worth it.
Yes.
So the spirulina, the powder, and then there's Atlantic Dulce, or they call it Dulce. Just three other. It's really good. The first day I had that, Kimmy, no kidding, I took it in the morning. When I got off work that night, girl, I was cleaning, singing in the kitchen, taking care of stuff. I told my husband, I said, I don't know what's going on, but I think this is really working. It was like night and day. So
Mhm.
if you're listening, if you're feeling any form of extreme fatigue, or you just try that, you will not regret it.
I'm so glad you talked about high quality versus low quality, because that's another misnomer that we have in our community, that as long as you're ingesting spirulina or whatever the protein or herb is, that they're all created equal, and they're not. So
You're
I
not.
always recommend, if you're starting out your journey, there are so many organic sites that you can try out at a discount. You'll get 50% off, 25% off. And so it's like you're paying the cheaper rate, right? For the cheaper
Mhm.
product, but you're getting the quality product at a cheaper rate. So always look at places like Thrive Market. I mean, the list goes on and on. You could even go on Amazon because they're related to Whole
Yes.
Foods. So definitely
Yes.
look for discounted options, because we do know quality can also mean premium price, right? And we want you to take advantage of this knowledge that Kayla is sharing with us, and make sure you like, follow, and share this video to someone that it can help. And also be sure to follow The Balanced Life with Kayla here on YouTube for more recipes and information. I actually follow someone named I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but his name is Yaki Awakened.
Okay.
Now
No, I don't. I haven't heard.
he's very deep into the clean eating. He's very
Yes.
restrictive on what he eats, but he too had ailments. Like you talked about the brain fog and everything. He had ailments that he was able to cure through natural eating. And so
Yeah.
people he helps a lot of celebrities and other people do the same. So again, these are facts that have been qualified and quantified, and we just want to bring to our little communities
Mhm.
this
Yes.
information.
Absolutely.
And you did talk about brain fog, but there's some other heavy metal, and then we'll move on to the next. But there's other um, risk factors that come along with heavy metal poisoning, and it can vary from person to person. It can include fatigue, like you said, brain fog, digestive issues, muscle
Mhm.
weakness, headache. And then if you talk about the chronic and long-term effects, oh, you can have
It's
long
crazy.
term, yeah, gastrointestinal disorders, organ damage, and an increased rate of the big C word. And so that's another
Mm,
reason why it is so critical that we have these conversations and that you share this information. It's not as much for us, but please, like if you have family members that you know have chronic illnesses, please make sure, you get the word out and let them know that, come on, let's drink this celery, these wild berries, the cilantro, and spirulina, 30 days, and let's just see what happens. And so thank you for sharing your personal journey with heavy metal detox and doing
yeah.
something about it, right?
Yes.
um,
Yes.
and so next we want to dive into vitamin deficiencies, right? And
Mhm.
there's so many, like I don't even know where to start with it. um, and so vitamin deficiencies can be anything from, not enough vitamin C, which is helps your immune system, boost your immune system. Vitamin D, which I suffer from, and people who live
Me
in cold
too.
areas see, and it has been associated with the big C word as well. So, vitamin K deficiencies. I mean, there's so many there's so many deficiencies that we could go over, but I guess just to kind of focus on a couple. Um, do you want to first? You could start off by sharing any experience that you have had. You said you're vitamin D deficient. I am as well.
Yes.
Can you share
Yes.
any personal stories? I know you have solutions on your page as well on the Balanced Life with Kayla
The
YouTube
balanced
channel.
lifestyle.
The
Yes.
Balanced Lifestyle. I'm sorry, the Balanced
Yeah,
Lifestyle
everything.
with Kayla.
Yes.
Can you go, and it'll be linked in the description, but can you share
Yes.
personal experiences? Oh, hey, someone just chimed in. I'm just noticing. Hey, Brown Girls Invest too. I'm late, but I'll watch the replay. Whatever your suggestions are, I'll be trying them. Thank you so much, Brown
Thank
Girls Invest
you.
too. And she has a wonderful channel about investing as well. So, can you share your personal firsthand stories about
Yes.
your vitamin deficiencies?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
yes, again, vitamin D for me, anemia is associated with vitamin D deficiencies, and with that, it causes tiredness too, lack of energy. Because what anemia is just not having enough healthy red blood cells that transports energy, oxygen to your body's tissues and cells. So when that is lagging or lacking in your system, then you're tired, you can't function right. And I remember going to the doctor because I usually, and ladies, please, 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 this is very crucial, especially within our community. I feel led to say this. If you have insurance, and I know almost everybody does, please go to your regular yearly checkup. Please. You cannot be so busy to put that in the back burner. We're trying to chase paper. What is this paper if you don't have the health to enjoy it? So I say to everyone listening right now, make sure you go for your yearly checkup. Do everything, do all the tests, make sure everything is working right. Okay, back to the story. So,
And can I just want to chime in there, even if, because everyone unfortunately does not have health insurance, and that is part of the problem. Like, especially there's certain states that still don't have what was formerly known as Obamacare or things like that. But
Medicaid, yes.
yeah, but not everyone, not every state has. That I found this out accidentally. Not every state
Wow.
offers Medicaid to everyone. And
Oh,
so, and
really?
you could only imagine what type of states those are, right? So, but
Mhm.
there are states that do not offer. You have to have proven some type of disability, like you've had a stroke or something like that, but they don't just offer it to you. But there are labs that are affordable. Like if you don't have the insurance to cover, the thing I urge you to do is get your blood work done some way, somehow. If that means saving, for 2 months to go to some type of clinic just to get your labs done, your blood
Get
work
it?
done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So many things are so preventable, is what I'm trying to say. Only if we knew in advance, I mean, knew, or acted at the time that we felt whatever the symptoms were and got our results, we could prevent so many long-term chronic illnesses. But yeah, I just want, because I know people who I had that conversation with, and I think it's South Carolina, there's Alabama, there's certain states that you do not automatically get Medicaid, even if you're low income or impoverished. And if you go to the
I did not
hospital,
know that.
they will send you a bill for thousands of dollars. Yeah. So people are afraid to go to the emergency room because they will send them a bill, even if they're impoverished. So anyway, but go ahead. Back to your
Oh my
story.
gosh, no, I
Yeah.
didn't even know that. I apologize because I was thinking, everyone, because I'm in California, as you know,
Yeah.
and
And I'm
we
in New
have that.
No,
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
not easily accessible for everyone. But what I would, like I said, just please try to find a way. Another thing, if you don't have it here and you go on vacation, there's so many gems I could
Take
drop. I'm going to do
advantage.
another video about that.
Okay,
But you can go to
yes.
a country like Mexico, where going to the
And it's
doctor
cheap.
will cost you $25, $35 for a lab. An MRI will cost you $300, $400, right? So there are
Mm-mm.
options. And if you think about it, you can get you some in travel insurance that includes health, medical, and have them cover it. Like there's so many,
Okay.
secrets of the
Okay.
trade. But the bottom line is, and I know we're already a half an hour in, child. The bottom line is, please get your blood work checked. Please, please,
Yes,
please, because
do it.
there's so much information that you can get from your blood work, and then work on it naturally if you know um,
Do it.
any of this resonates with you. So anyway,
Yes.
back to your vitamin deficiency
Okay.
stories.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
So yes, oh, of course. And that was a really great conversation to have. So I went to the doctor just to get my yearly blood work done. And he said to me, after the results came out, he goes, Kayla, you're iron deficient. I'm like, okay, your vitamin D, you need to up your vitamin D intake and all that stuff. I'm like, okay. But I didn't really take it seriously. I went about my merry way, still doing stuff. And then no kidding. I listened. He prescribed, a supplement for me to take. I never went back to pick it up because girl was chasing paper. All right. So um come the next year, I went back and it was like, girl, it is really, really low. And this time I'm feeling and I'm paying more attention. I'm seeing all the signs and symptoms. So I said, all right. Again, he showed me something that was a little bit natural for me to take. It's a supplement. I ordered it from Amazon and I started taking it. But I realized that whenever I took it, I just have this really bad stomach upset. I knew that was what it was. So
Mhm.
I didn't want to take it because I didn't like how it made me feel. Well, I said, okay, well, I know food is natural and I know we get healing from fruits and veggies. So I'm going to turn to that and do the natural way. And come to find out, beetroot is amazing for upping your vitamin D levels, healing your anemia. So I jumped into actions. I've been doing that now for close to, I would say about 5 months now. I've been doing that every single day. I take it, and I went back to get my blood work done, and my doctor was like, "Oh yeah, I see you got the supplement I told you to get." I'm like, Nuh-uh. I said that one didn't really, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
That one, and I told him what happened, but I told him what I did. He looked at me and he said, I am happy that people find ways to help themselves versus always relying on what the doctor would tell you. He
Yeah.
goes, you're doing a great job. And I'm like, yes. So, go see what's going on and then jump into action. Take advice from your doctor and also
Mhm.
see ways that you can do these things of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my story. And yeah, we're going strong with that.
And my story to iron deficiency is a little similar. I happened to find a supplement that was all natural, made created by a woman doctor. The name of the brand is called Mega
Wow.
Foods. I actually have a whole video about my favorite vitamins, and it's all
Okay.
natural products and it does not upset your stomach. And I have turned many
Good.
people onto it and their blood levels went up. But I too incorporated beets, some type of beet juice, or what else did I? The thing about it is you can eat spinach and things like that, but when I tell you have to eat spinach from sun up to sundown to really get the
Yeah. To
effects
do
that you
that. Yeah,
want,
I know.
but yeah, there are
Yes.
other ways. So it's Mega
There are other
Foods,
ways.
it's Mega Foods, and it's Blood Builders, the name of it. And by far,
Okay.
you could read the reviews on Amazon. Amazing.
I'm gonna write it
But and
down.
I also wanted to
Uh-huh.
get back to the 10 state. There are 10 states as of October 2023 that do not offer managed care Medicaid. And they are Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kansas, Mississippi, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. And so if you're in one of those states, we still want you to get your blood checked, because that's why we're suffering at higher rates, because we just unfortunately think it's too expensive to to see doctors or get
Mhm.
get the adequate
Mhm.
health care that you need. But I'm going to do another video that talks about ways around it. You have inspired me to do that.
That's good. No, that's good.
um, yeah, and another vitamin deficiency that I wanted to talk about was vitamin D, because a lot of us suffer from that at tremendous rates, and I kind of started talking about it in the beginning. I was just diagnosed. I had my blood work done, pretty optimal, except I was severely vitamin D deficient. And anyone
efficient.
who
Yeah.
lives in climates where, not just climates, but if you work all day, every day, you do not get enough sun, and especially in colder climates where there's like 4 to 5 months of the year where you're not sitting outside in a park and getting natural vitamin D, you too probably suffer from vitamin D deficiency. My body was telling me. So that's why I had my blood work checked. And I am now on, I think it's 12 weeks, 13 weeks of high dose vitamin D once a week, because as my doctor said, yeah, you can try to incorporate more foods rich in vitamin D, but you're at a level so low right now, you don't even want to risk
It won't.
the amount of
Yeah.
time
It's
that
not
it would
enough.
take your to catch up. It's not enough. And so
It's
anyway,
not
make
enough.
sure you find a way to get your levels checked, because vitamin D affects your memory, affects your, I was not sleeping. I was becoming a pure insomnia. I had insomnia really bad. And since I've been on the vitamin D pills, I sleep like a baby.
That's
So yeah,
good.
it could present in so many different ways. Do you have any suggestions for people who are deficient in vitamin D?
Yes, vitamin D, it's more prevalent with people with our skin color, because the melanin, just, even no matter how much you sit in the sun, sadly,
Right.
it's not efficient. We need the supplements. You just, when the world was at a standstill because of what we went through in between 2019, and we're still going through that now. We all know what it was. The deficiency of vitamin D in people of color was like it really, really made that, whatever we went through at that period of time, we all know what we went through,
Mhm.
affect us the most,
Yeah.
because our vitamin D levels were so low, and our immune system was just very vulnerable to what was going on. So pay attention to this vitamin D in your body, in your system, because it's vital for your immune system.
And I've read that people who stayed on certain supplements, including vitamin D, throughout the past few
That
years,
period.
those are the ones that have resistance to whatever is out there
Yes,
going on. And they have not
yes,
caught any of the many um, ailments that we have been reading about. So definitely pay attention to your vitamins, and make sure that you are adequately ingesting. And Kayla talks about that on her channel through food, like how you can not only live a balanced life, but also eat a balanced meal that is
Yeah.
rich and all of these vitamins and nutrients that we're talking about. And so let's just
Yes.
quickly move on. So how do we go from expressing or experiencing, excuse me, how do we go from experiencing the symptoms that we talked about um, and really taking advantage of the food? So, do you recommend, or would you say that we should just completely shift our diets, or should we ease in? Because I know shifting diets can be challenging at best.
It's hard.
So, what would be your recommendations as to entering into this balanced lifestyle and living, for optimal health?
Yes. So thank you for that question. It's like you said, it's hard for you to just shift from something you've known all your life because it's ingrained in us, you know.
Mhm,
I don't recommend going cold turkey and just going, I'm gonna turn everything off because what happens is it's not sustainable. It's not a lifestyle that you'll be able to sustain.
mhm,
All these foods and things happen for me gradually, and I'm going to use myself as an example because that's what I know. It
mhm,
happened for me gradually. It started when after my kids, after having my last baby. Of course, the weight was there, and I was just looking for ways to drop this weight and get back to where I was. So I joined one. It's a 30-day program where she gives you all this food, nutrients, and well, food plan for how you can, just do your stuff and drop the weight. And it worked for me. After the 30 days, I saw the results and I was like, okay, I like this. And then I started working out. I wasn't working out judiciously, but I worked out at home. I didn't even go to the gym, but I started doing all those stuff. So what I realized is once you condition your body to now knowing, all right, we're not doing this things anymore. We're now shifting. Like, for example, I still ate rice, but more times than not, I incorporated quinoa, like a little substitute. So you still eat the rice. Instead of eating rice maybe 20 times in a month or 10 times a month, you can split that in half. Half times you eat rice and then
mhm,
half times. So gradual. When you start seeing changes, your body and your mind will tell you, okay, I like where I am. Do I want to stay here or do I want to go back to where I was before? And more times than not, it's a no. I want to keep going forward. So you
mhm,
start seeing yourself naturally gravitating towards what you see that works for you and makes you feel
mhm,
better. That's how it worked for me. So it's just a slow process. Just start slow. Maybe incorporate incorporate try the quinoa situation and see how it works. There are millions of amazing recipes out there today that's online we can get to. See how that works for you. Incorporate more veggies, incorporate more. You can the thing is you can still enjoy rice like I said, but now it's not something you do every single day. You have options. Some
yeah,
days now I can go a week without even going to the gym or working out. But girl, when I go back there and when I start, my body knows. In
yeah,
2 or 3 workouts, I'm back to where I need to be. So these are the
yeah,
things. So you enjoy, but now you're like, okay, I have the map down. I'm going to it's a gradual process, but it pays off. Trust me, it does. So just start
yeah.
small.
And I have a food allergist. I forgot what her professional title is, but she had mentioned to me, she was like, based on your results, I would definitely recommend a gluten-free diet. She said, but I'm gonna be quite honest with you. 1% of every patient that I have that I put on a gluten-free diet sticks by it. It's one of the most challenging diets that you can, or most restrictive diets that you can incorporate. She says, so I'm not even going to tell you.
There you
She
go.
said, what I
It's just
will
speaking the
tell you,
truth.
she said, find some gluten-free recipes and just try to balance out, like shift some of the meals that you would have had that contain these, gluten, wheat, whatever, and substitute it for those the recipes that you find. And so we understand, trust me, I truly understand how difficult um, changing your diet can be, but I also understand the results. Literally, since January 14th until yesterday when I weighed myself, I am down 15 pounds just simply by going completely plant based, except a couple times I've had fish. And I knew I needed to do it. One, the vitamin D deficiency had me feeling weird. Two, I had been
Yes.
in Mexico for a full month where even though the food is less processed, you're still eating cheese, beans, rice, tacos, tortillas, nachos. Like it's
Yes.
very carb heavy. And so I knew my body was something was not right. Like Auntie Tabitha Brown says, like that's why she went plant-based because her body, she just didn't feel right. Since January 14th until today, which is yesterday, the 16th, I am down over 15 pounds. It's like 15 point something. And I feel amazing. And so much so, well,
Wow.
I usually do plant-based during Lent anyway, so I'm going to continue through Lent, but I am going to completely decimate the amount of fish or, carbs even after that because your body will tell you like you said, your body will let you know, do you want to go back to that? Like, no, I don't. It was not fun. And so I appreciate you bringing
Yeah.
up those 2 points. Yeah. And there's some really great recipes. I had last night for dinner, I had red cabbage steak. So it's cabbage, it's red cabbage, but you season it so flavorful, like it's a piece of meat that your brain, okay, it's not really a piece of meat, but your brain allows
But
you to
it
enjoy it.
works.
It's enjoyable, very enjoyable.
It
So
works.
yeah,
It
it
works.
totally does.
And
Um,
congratulations on sticking to your
oh,
diet. You look
and it
amazing,
really
by
was.
the
And
way.
the crazy thing was, it wasn't a diet. It did not start off as a diet. It started off as, yeah, I don't feel like me. Brain fog was so prominent and I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start with the plant based. But then when I went to the doctor, it was also vitamin D. But anyway, so it didn't start off as a diet to lose weight, but that was a sheer benefit of it. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Jesus.
And
So,
you mentioned, mhm. I just
go
wanted
ahead.
to chip in something real quick. You mentioned about diet. Yes. So I don't like the word diet too, because it's, I mean, you diet, like people say, okay, I'm on a diet for 30 days or 60 days.
Hmm.
After 60
Hmm.
days, what happens? We go right back to where we started. It's not sustainable. So for me, that's why I say it's a lifestyle change.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
I
lifestyle
love
change. It starts gradual. There's no end to this. You are in this for life. And before you know it, I mean, again, it's amazing what our bodies can do when we really take care of it. You know, there's
it.
this
Yeah.
there's this saying that goes, when you are at a certain age, which I'm like, at all ages we should be doing this, but if you get to a certain age, your nutrition and your exercise should be your medicine. And
Hmm.
if you think that is expensive, well, you don't want to switch it the other way around. That should be your
No.
food. That should be your medicine.
Hmm.
Medicine shouldn't be your food. That's doing it the other way.
Hmm.
Food, exercise, it's your daily medicine. Period. And when you do
Exactly.
those things, you get older, you live longer, you live happier. Because when if you see people on my husband, he
Uh-oh.
completely changed his life through exercise and
Oh,
nutrition.
wow.
He used to be on
Yeah.
a reflux medication. Is it
Acid
Nexium? Yeah,
reflux.
Nexium.
Yeah.
He's not taking that anymore.
I love it.
With nutrition and exercise, that's it. So you can do it. If you're watching
Yeah.
this, believe me, you can do it. You can do it.
And I have one more question for you, and then we're gonna let Kayla tell you once again where she can be found on the social media streets. But I so appreciate all of your firsthand experience, like talking about your husband with acid reflux, which many of us suffer from. And the sad part about it is acid reflux and heart issues can go
Oh,
hand in hand.
they're
And you
twins.
don't They're twins, and that's the thing, and the fact that your husband took his health seriously, that's why I
He
do these
did.
conversations, because I want people to hear not just firsthand conversations from, us as women, because we tend to, run things in our house, right? But the fact that your husband took his health serious enough that he made the proper changes, that he no longer needs to be on Nexium, which people stay on for years upon years upon years upon
Years.
years. So it's curable. It's curable. Listen, we're not doctors. Let me just put that
We're
disclaimer
not.
there.
No,
And
this
please
is
go see your
experience.
doctor to get your checkups and your blood work done before you start anything. And also, I did want to share this before we go on to your recipes. So
Okay.
I shared this before. This is
Oh,
called
cool.
Almanazel soursop bitters. And I have a video about that. It'll either be at the end of this video. But when I tell you, actually, it's the video, the first video when you come to Black Travel and Culture page. Such a game changer because it has all of those natural roots and herbs
Wow.
that we're meant to ingest, that were medicines before, the standard commercialized medicines
Yes.
um, were brought to us. I also I have my Super C. I take now this is not my favorite brand, but I was traveling, so I needed to pick up what they had. It's
Got it.
Super C vitamin C. When for your
Mm.
immune system, please supplement your immune system if you feel, especially during this time of year,
Yes.
with all these bugs going around. I believe 100% in black elderberry to keep yourself safe and healthy. I talk about this. This is the Mega brand. So I love Mega brands. I try to use all of their products. So vitamin C, they have vitamin C too. But I couldn't get it in time before my trip. So, but this is a multivitamin by Mega Foods. And if you read about her, she's a doctor who realized that some things just ain't right on this side of medicine. And she created her own natural brand of supplements. And you can read the reviews to know that I'm not kidding. And
I
then
would check that out.
this right here is the mother of all mothers. My mother used to give us castor oil every day before
Hello.
we went to school, right? We
Yes.
have gotten
Yes.
so far away from tradition that we truly need to
Mm.
get back to it. So this is an organic golden castor oil. Again, this when I tell you the reviews out of, I think it's over 6,000 reviews on Amazon, their ranking is a 4.7 out of 5. And
I
these are
believe it.
verified purchases. And so if you can, now this isn't cheap. I think it's about $35 or $30 or something like that. But it's 100% pure, organic, extra virgin. And so again, I'm going to have
What is?
all of this stuff
We're gonna
linked.
link them. Okay. Good.
Yeah. And when
Thank
I
you.
tell you, these are natural herbal remedies that can in addition to your diet, or excuse me, in addition to your lifestyle, you
Yes.
can incorporate to stay healthy. Listen, I'm not even going to say my age right now, but let me just tell you this right now. Everywhere I go, no one can guess it because of things like this. And it's always your insides that will appear on your outsides. And so I try to focus um when I travel, I have hiccups, but when I come back, I try to get right back on track. And
That's
let's
great.
wrap this up. In addition
Yes.
to the
Yes.
supplement, we talked about food, and I would love for you to share. You shared one of the drinks earlier, the detox. But can you share a favorite easy recipe that someone can start out with? Like just from your
The
channel
most,
and
the most easy, yes, the most easy thing for me, especially with heavy metals and taking care of 100% of your body, is celery juice. That's it. And you do
oh,
not
okay.
need any special. It is. You don't need any special machine. If you don't have a juicer, girl, put it blend it all up. You can drink it as it is. Because the thing with juicing and smoothies or juices are just it gets to your systems faster. So
Mhm.
it gives your organs the break to process everything. So, and you can actually take more in versus if you're eating the whole. Imagine drinking beetroot juice versus eating a whole beach. I mean, come on. So if you
Mhm.
want a faster, so again, celery juice, that's it. First thing in the
I
morning,
love
just try that for 30 days or even 2 weeks. I'm telling you, you'll see the difference.
So I have a question for you because I do celery juice, but I put beets and an apple in it. So you're saying it's best just to do
On its
celery
own.
by itself. Okay, and my
Yes.
second question, so I'm going to try that. My second question, organic, not organic for people out there. Does it matter? Do you have a
It
recommendation?
matters. You see, okay, so it matters 100%.
Okay.
Listen, you cannot put a monetary value to your health. I keep saying that. Would you rather spend the money eating healthy or spend the money now taking care of things that you're not even sure you can get rid of when you start taking all these medicines? And we know medicine, the pharmaceutical company is another whole story on its own. We don't want to go there yet. But
Mhm.
organic all the way, please, because most of these veggies are heavily sprayed with insecticides. And those
Mhm.
are one of the causes of, again, the seed, you know what I mean? So yeah, organic, please, as much as you can. And there's some fruits that are, or veggies that are more, some you can get by, like, okay, well, but some of them, there's no way, especially like this cilantro, those ones that are exposed to, you think about it, how they're grown and how they keep them the way they are, then you want to go
Mhm.
organic for sure.
Okay. No, I agree. I agree organic. I did hear someone say though, if for some reason your area, because there are areas where finding organic is literally like finding a needle in a haystack, unfortunately.
Mhm.
If you have a farmer's market, check there. If you can go to a farm, like Google like farms, if you have farms in your area. But if you just simply can't find organic, um, start where you can start from where you are and then try to seek out if you know someone who could ship you something, because I do know people unfortunately that live in areas where you can't find organic food unless you travel to
Oh,
wealthier areas. They don't put organic food in lower income areas the way that they do in wealthier areas, and or
wow.
people with higher incomes because of the price
Yeah.
point.
Well, you're
Primarily,
right.
well, I won't say that's the only reason, but that's one of the reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I also want to say that I love your channel, Kayla, because not only do you give us great tips, you show us how to salvage and use parts of the fruits and vegetables that many people discard, like the skin, the seeds. Like you did something with pulp. You had a pulp
Yes.
tea
Yes.
um,
Yes.
from the
Yes.
skins of, was that the skin of the pineapple? I don't
So,
remember exactly.
so
Go ahead.
it's just a pulp after juicing. So after
Yeah.
you juice the pulp, people often throw that away because like, no, don't
Yeah.
throw it away. You can make that's the best tasting ginger pineapple tea I have ever heard. I've ever
Oh
had.
wow.
Sorry. I am more, I'm telling you, whenever I want to juice for, immunity and things like that, I'm more excited for the tea part
Hmm. Oh
versus
wow.
the actual juice. Seriously.
So you do it with all of your pulps. You make teas pretty much, or
Yes.
just the pineapple. Oh, wonderful.
No. Everything.
I love that. I make a cantaloupe. It's called horchata, kind of, sort of, but I take the seeds of my honeydew melon and I blend it up with
Mhm.
water, some other fruits, and the seeds from your fruits and or your fruits and vegetables have some of the best parts of the nutrients that your body needs. So
Absolutely.
check out
Yes.
Kayla. Let's just go ahead. Tell us, please, and I'm going to pull up your YouTube channel. Tell us where we can find you, Kayla, all across social media or your preferred social media.
Okay, thank you. So I am on YouTube as The Balanced Lifestyle with Kayla, and I'm also on Instagram as The Balanced Lifestyle with Kayla. Now, I have TikTok going on. I haven't figured that quite yet, but Instagram and YouTube are the major places to connect with me if you want to. And please do, because I would love to chat with you and see you.
And this is Kayla's channel right here, The Balanced Lifestyle with Kayla.
Thank
Again,
you.
have she's a new to YouTube within the past year, and I just really want her information to be amplified because it will help our community. It will help anyone who comes across it become, oh, I see you up here working out. I love it. But we hope to have you back, Kayla. Or, I mean, I don't know. I want to do more of a series of this and I want to figure it out, but I definitely want us to stop trying
Okay.
to get summer bodies and winter, whatever the body
No.
is, and be more
Yeah.
conscious of maintaining the balanced
Yes.
lifestyle, as your title says.
Yes.
So I am so happy to have you here. I'm so thankful you said yes to my invitation, and I look forward to more collaborations in the future. Don't forget, follow Black Travel and Culture, follow The Balanced Lifestyle with Kayla. We hope that you took what we said, implement it, even if in the smallest fashions, and then comment and let us know how it's going with you. We definitely want us all to live a more balanced, healthier lifestyle. So, any last words, Kayla?
Thank you so much, Kimmy. You're so amazing. Thanks for your kindness and for thinking about me when you did this. It really touched me because backstory, I'm originally from Nigeria. I mean, you can tell a little bit of accent coming out of there. And so here and just putting myself out there, it wasn't easy, but I'm not afraid. I'll take up any challenge. And just being able to speak to people, especially people that look like me, because we are all the same. Let me tell you, back home here, we have the same culture. So I'm happy to be here to bring knowledge firsthand from what I have experienced and what I have tried and has worked for me to the space to help people. So my last words are, please, it's health, it is travel, and it is nutrition. Those three
Mhm.
things, because that's the balance I'm talking about. If you have PTO, please use it. Please, 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 please use your PTO. It doesn't matter if you haven't gone out of the country yet. That's fine. Take some time out. Go to neighboring city. I mean, you're the travel guru, so I know you talk about these things, but the balance is, when you work, save up all that money, you go enjoy life, you come back.
Mhm.
That's the purpose for me. I just don't want to work and pay bills and work and pay bills. What's that purpose? I mean, I
Yeah.
can't function like that. So that's the
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah. I totally, I love your last words. I'm not even going to add to it. They were perfect. Thank you so much, Kayla, from the Balanced Lifestyle with Kayla. We look forward to having you back. And everyone, have a great weekend, or whenever you're watching
Thank
this, have a great day. Happy National
you.
Random Acts of Kindness Day. Go out and do a random act of kindness today, tomorrow, next week. Just do a random act of kindness. Take care, guys.
Thank you so much.